డైరెక్ట్ మాట్లాడచ్చు కదా. అది ఇయర్ ఫోన్ అక్కర్లేదు ఇంకా నాకు. ఇది ఏం పెట్టలేదు కదా స్పీకర్. నాది వినపడిపోద్ది కదా, అవతల ఎవరైనా మాట్లాడితే మరి అదొద్దా? మాట్లాడలేదు, అది ఏమి ఇవ్వలేదు. అక్కడ నేను మాట్లాడడానికి అది వినపడాలి కదా. యూట్యూబ్ లో అడిగేది ఎప్పుడు వినిపించచ్చు సార్. యూట్యూబ్ లో అడిగారు సార్.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Rajaram Mohan Rao, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacology. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce about this today's faculty staff development program on AI in Pharma Curriculum. Before that, I will shortly introduce about my college. So, my college name is Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, which was established in the year 1997 by the well-known philanthropist and industrialist late Sri Padma Bhushan Dr. B.V. Raju under Dr. B.V. Raju Foundation and Sri Vishnu Educational Society. Sri K.V. Vishnu Raju, his grandson, succeeded as chairman and is making all efforts to impart the quality education. Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy is the first private pharmacy college affiliated to Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and is situated in pollution-free, sprawling campus spread over 100 acres with the latest equipment, spacious, air-conditioned, smart lecture halls, computer lab and seminar hall, along with good library facilities. SVCP has been successful in providing and maintaining high quality in teaching as well as research in pharmaceutical sciences. SVCP is the only recognized pharmaceutical research center under Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. Our faculty members got research grant from various institutes like AICTE, CSIR, DBT, DST, etc. And SVCP is the first college in AP accredited by NAC, and our B.Pharm program is NBA accredited. Our courses offered in our college is B Pharmacy, PharmD, M Pharmacy specialization with departments like pharmaceuticals, regulatory affairs, pharmaceutical analysis, pharmacology, pharma quality assurance. So coming to the today's event, So AI in Pharma Curriculum, which is designed to familiarize educators and students with the fundamentals of artificial intelligence and its growing relevance in pharmaceutical sciences. This program aims to bridge the gap between traditional pharmacy education and emerging digital advancements by highlighting AI-driven tools in drug discovery, development, and healthcare. It also focuses on integrating AI into the PCA curriculum, promoting innovative technology teaching methodologies, and strengthening research capabilities. So, through this FDP SGP, participants will gain insights into cutting edge areas such as personalized medicine, big data analytics, pharma 4.4, ethical aspects of AI, ultimately empowering them to deliver industry oriented and future ready pharmaceutical education. So, our objectives of the present FDP is to introduce the fundamentals of artificial intelligence and machine learning and their relevance in pharmaceutical sciences, to equip pharma educators and students with knowledge of AI-driven tools used in drug discovery, development, and pharmaceutical research, to explore the integration of AI into the new PCA syllabus, enabling modern industry-aligned teaching methodologies, to enhance understanding of real-world applications of AI in pharmacy practice, including regulatory and ethical considerations, to provide insights into emerging areas such as genomics, biotechnology, and personalized medicine empowered by AI, to promote research skills in AI-based natural product studies and pharmacognosy advancements, to create awareness about sustainable pharma practices, including AI applications in food waste utilization for medicinal purposes, to develop knowledge of AI in supply chain management, logistics, and pharmaceutical operations, to strengthen competency in big data analytics and precision medicine for improved healthcare outcomes. So, with this introduction, we'll start, and our principal sir will have a short introduction about the today's FDP event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bapraju and Dr. Sai Kumar and Dr. Rajaram. Dear all participants, very warm welcome you to this EFDP entitled AI in Pharma Curriculum on behalf of students and staff and management of Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, Bhimvaram. The objective of this AFDP is very clear that any statutory body, if changes or revises the syllabus, the ultimate challenge is to have a faculty and to mold the, because to mold the faculty ultimately the ground reality, and they always handles face to face the students, and it is always a challenge to mold the student, educate them, and to prepare the student to meet and fulfill the course requirement. In that context, this EFDP is started because recently that PCI 20262 to academic year 26-27, we have to start the revised syllabus and incorporated a very emerging that AI technology, AI courses in the pharma field, which is benefit to the student for current requirements also, that so that you have to be aligned with traditionally teachers will teach on the blackboard, and some teachers would do the some other techniques, technology will be used, but it is a time most of the teachers to align with AI and technology. So that in that context, we all when want to be start at the 1,000 kilometers, we have to one step. We should have to with one step we should have to start that. So that is the reason this Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, we are taking lead to make you one step, that is towards AI, so that our efforts and everything will put for the betterment of the student, and as well to make orient the faculty. Make orient the faculty is the most important. So so once again, I'm very happy and congratulating all who are participating in this EFDP. Thank you, one and all. And I request today's speakers, the SV Sai Kumar and Ramayappa, all the best. Please enlighten the audience. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
So, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning, all. So, thank you, sir, for your kind words, and thank you very much, our principal, Dr. K.S. Natras, for initiating this kind of EFDP for awareness program on AI and data analytics skills that are newly implemented by our PCI for as per the NEP guidelines. So, with this, I want to I want to start this presentation on this first day of this EFDP. Before that, I want to let me know that anybody from the participants, please tell me, is my screen is visible? Am I audible to everybody? So thank you very much. So with this, before I will proceed with my today's presentation and agenda. So let a small interaction. So I request all the participants to be interacted with this presentation rather than it is a simple talk. So I request all of you, please do go to on the screen you will see a slido.com presentation will be you will see. Please go to that and please try to join by using that QR code or that code number. Please try to answer this question. So then we can proceed further. I request all the participants, please try to join it to the slido.com and answer this question about how would you rate your current understanding of AI and machine learning and data analytics in the context of pharmacy education. So any of the participants, please try to join please try to join at slido.com and try to answer that. And I also suggest all the participants, there will be a Q&A section also, Q&A option also will be there at in that slido.com. So if meantime, if you have any questions, please try to post the questions there. And at the end of the session, depending on the time availability, we will try to attend those questions. With this brief, let me go to the actual presentation of decoding artificial intelligence, data analytics, and machine learning foundations as a part of faculty development program that is offered by Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy. As per the NEP 2020 curriculum, the PCI remodified BPharm curriculum that will be where the artificial intelligence, data analytics, and the machine learning foundation programs and their orientation. So with this, let us. So why actually this AI and data are really needed in pharmacy? So as per if you go to National Education Policy 2020, its vision is technology integration is very much essential into the curriculums, and digital literacy is required for all kinds of graduates, especially to integrate interdisciplinary learning. And at the same time, curriculum also should be data-driven decision makings and AI especially in pharmaceutical background, that is drug discovery and safety aspects, and to make future-ready pharmacists in pharmaceutical education along with the technology readiness. And at the same time, if you can see the industrial automation also nowadays, all industries, they are going for automation is already there as per the Pharma 4.4 and Pharma 5.4 transformation. And there is another major demand that is for precise medication, especially for personalized medication also. In all these aspects, automation is essential. So technological integration in curriculum is very much essential. So TCA also look forward to integrate AI and data in pharma curriculum. So as per our general pharmacy curriculums, generally we will have core pharmaceutical knowledge, ethics and integrity, especially related to the core pharmaceutical knowledge, and patient-centered orientation, and especially communication aspects. These are the traditionally till now we had having in our curriculum parts. Whereas as per NEP 2020, if you can see certain graduate attributes, especially digital and technology awareness, which is that has been provided as graduate attribute number 6, which is very much familiarly equipped with both artificial intelligence, data analytics, and automation of several aspects. And similarly, for pharmacy, that outcome-based education, we are having a program outcome number 4, that is modern tools and AI competence. That is where we have to apply digital technologies and computational techniques. That is also one of the major aspects. So in related to this, these AI and core components that have been incorporated into this curriculum. So first of all, before going into the curriculum, its orientation, that means what are the aspects that are related to data and analytics and AI and machine learning aspects. Before that, there will be a confusion among so many faculties. I can't say that everybody, but there may be some of the faculties, there may be in confusion that why actually artificial intelligence or machine learning or data analytics are related to pharmacy. Is they are required, or is it required, and sometimes we will come across several terminologies that are required to artificial intelligence, like algorithm, neural network, big data, deep learning, and machine learning, data analytics, data. So many terms also will comes, and at the same time there will be certain fears or myths will be there. There will be a lot of amount of mathematics is required, and how I can I code? There will be so much amount of coding is required. It is a part of only engineer can do it, and at the same time, if I can know everything, is there any scope or future for this? So before going into that subjects or courses that have been incorporated as an data analytics and machine learning, let us simply understand what actually these are. So data analytics, especially if you can take the term data analytics, it is just in simple, if you can't understand, it is you want to get some insights from the data, especially whatever the things what are there that are going to be understand. So they are especially from data only. So data analytics means you want to get some meaningful insights from the large amount of data set that is available. So especially through certain numbers or some graphs, some graphical representation, so that it will be easily understandable. So once data analytics, and then there is a concept that is machine learning. So in simple terms, whatever the analytics, whatever the insights we got from the data, so where we want to predict. So if you can see that example also. So basing on the existing data, if you want to predict the future, or for example, if you are having a past patient data with us, so if you want to predict the drug interactions that are there, or based on the patient history, if you can, if you want to know about future symptoms, what kind of future symptoms they can exist, such kind of predictions we can do by applying certain machine learning concepts. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, it is somewhat advanced, where it will almost act like an human intelligence, where decision making will be there. So basing on the prediction what we will take decision making. Example, for any kind of patient, if there is any systematic dose adjustment is required. Basing on the previous decision, there should be some kind of decision can also be taken basing on these artificial intelligence. But mostly all these aspects will be focused majorly on data analytics. For that also, let us focus on majorly. So especially in healthcare segment, if you can go to that, initially we have to collect data, especially if you can take in a healthcare, hospital oriented aspects, we can take regarding patients of complaints, their vitals and test results. What are the previous history? It means number of patients that have been visited and the entire data that has been segregated. And if you can collect that data. So from that entire data, analytics, actually previously we had also discussed. So where in analytics, we can tell certain aspects that are related to from that insights we are going to get from that data. Especially, we can get some recognition, means patterns in between the data, especially vitals and test results. what actually they will give. For example, if you can see fever along with a cough, if there are two symptoms, there may be some terminology that it may be lead to common cold. This means sometimes we can get, that means whenever fever is there, cough is there, there is a symptom, there is a disease or symptom, what we can get, it is a common cold, basing on these symptoms. So such kind of analytics we can get from the data. So once such kind of analytics we got it, and then we can apply machine learning concepts where we can predict the disease basing on the symptoms and patterns among the symptoms, and because of the patient's past data. So whenever any new patient that will arise, so we can predict what kind of disease may be possible. Is it a common cold, or because of any other condition is involved, it may be related to some other disease. So basing on that machine learning concept, we can diagnose and we can predict. Whereas actually we had previously discussed, basing on that, if you can further extend this data with certain artificial intelligence concepts where it will mimic actually how a doctor is going to treat a patient who comes there basing on this past experience. Similarly, here we can decide which kind of treatment can be applicable by monitoring all the responses and adjusting their patient care also. By we can personalized treatment can also be delivered by using certain artificial intelligence concepts. So this is how we can easily understand from the data to analytics, analytics to machine learning, and machine learning to artificial intelligence. So this is how actually we look in this technology stack. Also, you can see data is the primary step. We can go for it any kind of aspects, and from there we can get insights and understanding of the data in the data analytics, and then in the machine learning concepts we can do predictions and also learn the behavior of data, and then we can take decisions and make actions as human will do in artificial intelligence concepts in a simple manner. And similarly, our new curriculum of pharmacy also has given that pattern. In semester 1, they had given the programming language for understanding the data. And from there in semester 2, they had given analytics. And in semester 3, they had incorporated machine learning for prediction and learning aspects. This is how actual progression actually takes place in data analytics to machine learning and from to artificial intelligence. Similarly, this progression also has been incorporated in our new curriculum as per NEP 2020. So before we will go to that, so we can see small differences among these data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So actually we had already discussed the purpose of data analytics is to know and understanding about the data. So that is actually the purpose of data analytics. Whereas in machine learning, we can predict basing on the patterns among the data. So how far they are patterns are they are linked with each and every data, and then we can predict and we can learn from the data. So for the new patient or new data set that will come, so we can predict what will be the outcome for that. And basing on that, if you apply an artificial intelligence concept, we can, as per the human intelligence, the artificial intelligence can take decisions and act accordingly. So in simple, if we can take that in data analytics, what happened previously, that we will descriptively we can know. In machine learning, we can understand that what actually will happen for a new data or new patient that will come. And in artificial aspects, what we should do. It is the simple aspect we can clearly understand between these three aspects. We can't combine all the three, they are completely differentiated. So in data analytics, we can know what actually happened in the previous data. So in machine learning concepts, we will know what actually happened for a new data that will come. And in artificial intelligence concepts, we can understand and what we can take an action, that is what we should do. And the complexity of all these aspects also we can, especially artificial intelligence aspects, they are very high because more amount of data involved and somewhat little high amount of conceptual knowledge should be required. Whereas data analytics, it requires very little amount of complexity. There is not much amount of programming language or some other additional skills are required. If you take a pharmacy example, so if you take ADR reports, that means definitely patients will report ADRs. from that, if you can average ADR for any given concept, it is a simple aspect where we can understand from the data analytics. Whereas in machine learning, where we are going to predict drug interactions based on the patient history for any kind of new symptoms that has been reported. Whereas basing on these reports and these predictions, we can take a decision for adjusting dose calculations or any kind of new kind of dosage regimen design, etc. we can do by applying artificial concepts. So with this, let us move to the orientation aspects of current curriculum, that is what actually Pharmacy Council of India has been incorporating from the academic session 2026-27, where for the first 3 semesters, I am going to hear briefing about the aspects of data analytics and machine learning, and further remaining aspects will be dealt by other speakers. Those are going to deal with the specific applications related to pharmacy and specific courses of pharmaceutical applications. Where in this curriculum, so Python programming has been introduced in the semester 1 as a foundation tool for data analytics and machine learning aspects further. So here the basic things like data structures, basics, and file operations will be mostly there. And this programming language, it will be essential and to understand the data through data analytics, where few amount of statistical aspects and data visualization, interpretation of certain aspects will be dealt in data analytics, which is incorporated in semester 2 of this particular curriculum. Whereas in semester 3, machine learning, which is little advanced predictive insights, where concepts of machine learning aspects and its applications to pharmaceutical aspects has been incorporated in semester 3, which is bit advanced. So actually what actually happens in real data analytics and machine learning concepts also, similarly the progression has been kept in the NUP 2020 curriculum in a stepwise manner. So especially for this, we have to data handling. Initially, we have to know for foundation skills, and then there we can go for data understanding, and then we can go for data prediction models, where for data handling, we require little bit of Python programming. Okay, we will discuss further. There is not that much difficulty in learning basics of Python programming. And then the students will understand about the data aspects with respect to certain statistical aspects, and they can formulate certain visualizations where the insights will be very much easily understandable and presentable. And then we can get the interpretation skills, and then the data predictions by using certain ML concepts for especially related to pharmaceutical applications, where either patient related hospital aspects or industry related aspects also, where we are going to use these data prediction abilities. So now let us understand briefly about the semester 1. The Python programming language, actually it has been introduced, is actually essentially required for our students to learn programming language. So as a part of previous understanding, if it is only data analytics, means to understand the data, especially the programming language may not be required. But if you want to know further analytics to move to prediction and application aspects in a simpler and easiest way, definitely a small amount of programming language is essential for anybody to go for it. Especially if you want to go for only data analytics aspects, there is no need for programming language. But if you want to go for automations and application oriented aspects, definitely a small amount of programming language is not required and is required. And especially this curriculum is majorly focusing on learning and automation and these analytical aspects rather than building those kind of skills. So where most amount of the programming language is essentially required. Here we require a foundation and basic level of Python programming is sufficient. So here, especially the purpose is to equip students with basic programming skills to handle and effectively get insights from the data. So actually I had already informed that it is this basic programming skills. For that only we have to get certain programming skills, not to develop any kinds of web tools. Is maybe further anybody interested, they can know, but only for understanding aspects only this programming language is required. And especially for it is a processing tool where cleaning of the data and getting certain analytics, getting some visualizations. For that, if you know some little amount of programming data, it will help us in fast and clear understanding of the data insights. So where you can see in the slide, so the PP101T, it is a basics of Python programming for pharmaceutical sciences. It has been given in the first semester of this curriculum, which occupies 2 credits, and time requirement is 2 hours per week, where outcomes means where simple programming Python programs, write simple Python programs, and they can handle data with certain data structures and databases, and they can process certain pharmaceutical data for getting some meaningful insights, where it has been covered with 5 units of syllabus, where in unit 1, a simple basics of Python, what are variables and data types, whereas in unit 2, data structures, that means there will be a list, tuples and dictionaries, which are also very simple to understand, simple to do it. And in unit 3, there are simple functions and modules that are inbuilt in the Python itself. There is not much no need to do much programming there also required. And unit 4 also file handling and data processing, where we can incorporate CSV or Excel files along with that. And one more major aspect, that is pandas, where we are going to get mathematical concepts, that is simple mathematics like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division kind of aspects, and similar logical operations as true and false, etc. This is also very simple to know. And unit 5, where we are going to get data visualization, that means the data into simple graphical representation using certain aspects like functions like matplotlib and seaborn, and from that we can get certain insights. And the entire syllabus that has been very simple, and any student, any faculty, they can easily understand that programming, write simple programs. For that, in the screen also you can see certain books that has been given for your reference, that is Python for data sciences and also automating boring stuff with Python. So this is also one of the good book where we can easily understand Python programming also. Apart from that, you can get certain online resources also. WT3 School for Python tutorials, it is one of the best channel where you can easily understand. Apart from that, there are so many YouTube channels in vernacular language, in different languages is available, where we can easily understand these simple concepts very simply. Apart from that, if you can Kaggle and another online website where you can easily get learn Python courses which are freely available, and you can get simple data sets for COVID analysis or something, previous analysis, simple data sets will be there. With that, we can easily use this simple Python programming language, and we can get little bit good knowledge on visualization and analytical tool things. Apart from that, Google also offering Google classes through for Python languages for basics, where we can get all these aspects, we can get freely without any subscriptions also, we can simply use. Apart from that, I didn't mention in the slides, but only one more, this is onlinepython.com. It is another website where you can easily learn and practice simultaneously. So whereas in this semester Python, the unit 1 majorly Python basics, we had the core concepts like variables, operations, and these kind of aspects, definitely they are essential. And you can use W3 School and other kind of YouTube channels for simple understanding conceptually. Whereas here we, as an example, you can see drug dosage calculation, etc. will be the simple applications where we can simply practice for this Python basics. Whereas the unit 2 is mostly describing about data structures, where lists, tuples, and dictionaries and these kind of aspects are very simple to learn. And for that, we can easily learn from Python documentation also, where python.com, it is an actual Python website where the documentation also providing good amount of online documents and easy to learn courses where we can understand these data structures very easily, where we can easily do certain aspects like patients related aspects. We can easily relate all kinds of symptoms with respect to disease matching, etc. We can easily do with these lists and tuples. Whereas coming to unit 3, where we have some more a little bit aspects like functions and modules that are available in Python, where the functions and like certain inbuilt modules that are there, that is mathematical calculation aspects and writing certain simple formulas. By using that, we can dosage calculation module also available. By using that also, we can simply do it. For that also, we can simple Python docs are available, and so many YouTube channels are available to briefly understand about these aspects. And coming to Unit 4, as previously we had already discussed, file handling and data processing. File handling means where by using Excel, CSV files, we can easily upload those files to certain environments where Python can be easily, Python program easily run. For that, how we can easily upload these files and how can it process and how can we get the insights, especially brief description of statistical description of data. That means how many patients are there, how many number of patients and how many number of symptoms are there, how many patients with how many number of symptoms, and about all the patient data or whatever the data that is there. If it is a patient data, these kind of insights we can easily process by this unit 4. Whereas unit 5, it is an somewhat where we are going to get some insights, where we are going to get some visualized graphs, and also we can get some small insightful reports where we can generate by using especially Matplotlib, one of the widely used library for that data visualization. It is also easily understand. We can easily apply those knowledge also. And at the same time, Seaborn, another tool. And apart from that, there are several modules that are available for data visualization, but simply we can use that Matplotlib also, that is simple to get some data insights in terms of certain graphical representation. So by that, we can easily understand what is actually data. So this is actually the semester 1 where the Python core concepts has been introduced in our this newly equipped syllabus. And here a small suggestion, we should not go in deep, like what actually a software engineer learn about Python programming, like advanced algorithms, development of games and web. Definitely it will be interesting for anybody interested in that aspect. Otherwise, for our curriculum, Python basics and what is a syntax, and simple data structures, what is a dictionary, what is a tuple, and what are arrays are called. It is a very simple to understand. And how an Excel file or CSV file will be uploaded into Python environment. And from that, how we can get some insights and visualizations. This is actually required and essential for us to teach, but not more than developing. Means we can require developing a web tool and an application. For that, we require high amount of programming language, which may be for an advanced learner. And then coming to how we can get data analytics, and means whatever the programming language we had learned from the semester 1, this can be applied to get a good insights in the from the data. So for that, in semester 2, they have been incorporated a data analytics course or subject where a little amount of statistical energy is required, and with that statistical interpretation, we can easily interpret the data, and from that we will do visualizations, and we can get easily certain report generation. So for that, we have to mostly focus how we can, from the raw data that is available with us, we had a data set, and we have having certain programming languages where we can know how to use a programming code and generate certain visuals and reports. So with this knowledge, we can get a meaningful insights in simple and faster, easier from the data. So for that, this is very essential, and basic amount of statistics are essential. That is basic descriptive statistics. Not advanced statistics is not essential at this level. Definitely the regression analysis are essential when you are going for advanced analytical levels, but it is not essential at the level of semester 2. So basic descriptive statistics, where for data interpretations, visualizations, and to get descriptive stats and application-oriented learning. So this is what focusing on this semester 2. So where in this curriculum, this has been given in BP 201T, Applied Biostatistics and Data Analytics. It is the course that has been given, which is having 2 credits equivalent, and 2 hours per week has been given as per the PCA curriculum, with an outcomes that are apply biostatistical concepts to data and interpret certain data insights, and then visualize by using certain tools like Matplotlib, and use Python especially. We can use, and some of you might have already used Excel, Power BI, and Tableau. Any one of you heard about these tools also? These are the tools without any programming language. We can generate analytics. But here, certain small amount of programming language, especially Python, we can generate similar kind of insights. But some of you might ask that why it is essential. If it is, without this also, can we go with it? But as I already insisted that if you want to get prediction-oriented and application-oriented knowledge, especially ML and AI concepts, if you want to apply, especially automation aspects, programming language is essential. So for that being, so if you have some programming, especially Python knowledge is there, so whatever the insights you are going to get by using simple Excel or Power BI and Tableau kind of visualization tools, we can generate simply those kinds of insights by using simple programming language. That's why they had insisted use Python programming rather than these simple non-programming tools like Excel and Power BI. So that is what it has been incorporated. And if you can see unit-wise coverage also, in the unit 1, simple descriptive statistics where we can give limits of central tendency, that means mean, average, mode, standard deviation, these kind of simple aspects will be there, and what kind of data types and measures of dispersion, that means how we can know for standard deviation to range, etc. These aspects only will be discussed in unit 1. And whereas in unit 2, little advanced, there is called interfacial statistics, where hypothesis testing, especially using the concepts of p-values and t-test, z-test, etc. Majority of us easily know about these things. And in unit 3, the concepts of probability and distribution, where mostly normal distribution, majority of the data of pharmaceutical knowledge, definitely they will fall under normal distribution. And basics of binomial and Poisson distribution will be essential, but that much amount of programming knowledge is not required, but basics of that probability and distribution functions is required. And then unit 4 is very much required for that data analytics application, where we are going to get insights of especially clinical trials related data, adverse drug reaction reporting data, and quality control testings, where we are going to, after a test is completed, depending on the test results, whether the particular test will be passed or failed for a particular reason. So passing or failing, where with respect to certain amount of small coding, we can easily generate those reporting aspects also very simply. And unit 5, somewhat little advanced, where regression and predictive modeling, which will be mostly essentially useful for machine learning concepts if you want to learn further for making predictions and classifications. Here also we are provided on the screen, you can see certain books and online resources, fundamentals of biostatistics and biostatistics for AI Foundation for Analytics, which is also very much useful book. And whereas Python for data analytics, that has been shown in that book, also very useful to get useful insights from the data using simple Python programming. And if you can use Khan Academy, they are providing very good resources and learning simple about statistics, etc. And also Coursera also offering some few courses about basics of biostatistics in public health. So that is also a free course. Apart from that, there are several tools, and Data Camp also one of the such tool, where you can data science with Python also, you can easily learn as a course for that understanding also. So in deep, if you can go to these semester 2 units, unit 1 is actually we had discussed, it is introduction to biostatistics, where we will a general descriptive statistics, where measures of central tendency, those kind of aspects, we can focus on that. For that, we can use that simple books, and Khan Academy resources are very useful for that understanding of biostatistics. For Unit 2, probability and distribution, we can easily use Coursera Biostatics, which is a free course. We can easily learn the concepts like normal distribution, Poisson distribution, and those distribution concepts we can easily learn. Whereas statistical interference, whereas hypothetical testing, and whereas we can t-test, f-test, z-test, such kind of texts, which are essentially for useful for examples like drug efficacy testing, bioequivalency testing, those kind of aspects if you want to learn. So where we can, NCBI is providing very good tutorial for these kind of aspects. That is also another tool. Apart from that, you can get so many YouTube channels in different languages also available for these apps. And next, very useful aspect, that is data analytics applications, where I already told about some books using Python for data analytics, and also how you can get FDA also, they are providing good documentation about data analytics applications in pharma related aspects. And then regression and prediction modeling, which is Unit 5, where we are going to learn certain regression modeling like linear regression, multiple linear regression, and correlation coefficients, and etc. These are very much essential when you are going to apply multiple linear regression and deep learning aspects, where we are going to predict and classify the things, and where we want to apply these aspects to further learning of the data sets. So where we will require these amounts of regression and prediction models, especially these kind of applications will be discussed later by other speakers. They will provide insights about their applications, especially where regression analysis will be used, how could certain automations will be taking place by using these predictive modelings, etc. will be dealt. And where here we are going to provide in this semester biostatistics, these regression models, what are regression models, what are those, how they can be useful in healthcare data analytics for certain examples like bioavailability modelings, etc. can be dealt with in this. Again, a small tip to all the participants here. So don't go to teach about deep mathematical proofs and applied knowledge of statistical aspects, rather than simple data interpretation aspects of basic statistical aspects. Some small aspects of applied biostatistics, where those concepts will be applied to our pharmaceutical knowledge, especially healthcare or industry related quality control aspects, and with certain pharma case studies, especially ADR related aspects, and dosage trends, especially how far dosage regimen will be changed depending on the ADR reported, etc. So those statistical aspects which are essential for these analyticals. So where we can fix through that, it will be easy for the student to understand. So we have to mostly focus on data understanding and its communication, rather than mostly learning about how far a model will be developed, what is the mathematical background about that. It is all not especially required at this stage. So this is about that that course that has been provided in second semester, that is analytics. When coming to the progression in the third semester, the concepts of predictive and classification, which is actually essentially required for future pharmacists, which is provided under machine learning concepts, where the data patterns, that means how far the data that is present in data set, how far each column and row it is interlinked with each other, that can be pattern recognition we can do, and at the same time we can predict and classify the data according to the requirements, so that basing on this, in future definitely we can take a decisive action where artificial intelligence will come into play. So in this machine learning aspects, so mostly here also we have to understand what are actually conceptual understanding, not about mathematical derivation. So where these aspects are required. So here we come to understand what actually a model, a linear regression model. For that, I want to give a small example. Don't think that it is not beyond. So majority of us did a linear curve, a calibration curve we have drawn, with respect to concentration to that of absorbance? Majority of no. This is a simple linear regression model. So that we can't, we don't take it as very, we don't require this. We don't know what are models. Whatever the graph you are drawing in an Excel sheet using concentration versus absorbance, it is a simple linear regression model. Like that, we can apply to everything. But here, along with that statistical interference, along with certain programming language basics, where we can do these aspects very fast and effectively. So especially wherever we are dealing with this computational understanding, along with certain pharma applications like how drug interactions can be predicted, how for two different symptoms, if they will interact, means their interaction in between, how far they will lead to any kind of other kind of symptom lead, where there may be doses or there may be some other kind of drug can be prescribed, etc. These kind of decision can be easily taken when you design these kind of models. And basing on that also, we can easily interpret what is happening with what kind of condition, what kind of aspect is actually happening. And at the same time, in this machine learning aspects also, we have to take another thing, ethical consideration. So whenever we are using any programming language, statistical aspects, definitely we can't get a model that will easily applicable to all kinds of scenarios. It has certain accuracy and precision. At the same time, it will have its own limitations. And what extent its bias, fairness, responsible, especially whenever we are going to use these models, these are also essential. Apart from the model utility, its accuracy and precision, especially its bias, in what conditions it may not be useful, and what kind of conditions it is fair enough to use. And these aspects are also essentially to be known to each and every pharmacist, where this ethical consideration also has been integrated into this part of the semester, where here it has been given as BP 301T, Introduction to Machine Learning in Pharmaceutical Sciences, where it has been provided as 2 credits, and it is also given 2 hours per week as a theory course, where here you can understand the outcomes as understanding basic machine learning concepts, actually what we had already discussed: simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, and classification models, and how we can interpret these models with respect to our pharmaceutical use cases, and what kind of output we are going to get, what kind of prediction we can do it, and at the same time we can understand its ethical consideration. Previously has also discussed what actually accuracy and precision will be there for that model that has been used, and what kind of situation it cannot be used, and in which situation it can be easily applicable. So here we can see unit-wise coverage. In the unit 1, it has been provided as introduction to ML, where a simple concepts of like supervised learning, where linear regression, especially that previous example what we have taken, dose versus absorbance, is which comes under supervised learning, where labeled data will be taken for the regression models. Unsupervised learning also, where similar kind of regression models we are going to use, where we are going to classify. That means what kind of patients will fall under blood pressure. Means if you are giving a data with blood pressure and their diabetic proning, and what kind of their living habits, that is smoking, drinking habits, etc., etc. Basing on these interactions, we can easily classify the historical patients under whether they are diabetic prone, or they are prone for cardiac diseases or something, etc., where we are mostly we are going to use unsupervised learnings. And then in unit 2, supervised learning, where what I had already told, classification and regression analysis, where classification means we can segregate data into different groups, as actually we had already discussed. That means depending on the data and its interaction, we can classify them into patients who are prone for cardiovascular diseases, patients who are prone for some diseases like diabetic conditions, or there may be patients with, depending on their lifestyle habits, they may be prone for both, or some patients they may not prone for that. Like that, that classification will be done. Whereas in unsupervised learning, where we can cluster these groups according to example, if certain cases pandemics, endemics, like that, in certain areas those kind of situations may not occur, whereas they can privilege and they can occur very frequently in those conditions. Depending on those aspects, we can cluster the data into different groups. Basing on that, we can easily take a decision for the upcoming data set, upcoming data point, upcoming patient. We can take an easy decision. Okay, what kind of learning, what kind of tests we can recommend. Those aspects will be easily understand. And then basing on that, we can take actions also. And that actually those as conceptual learning will be there in unsupervised learning. When it comes to ML applications in pharmacy, actually we had discussed. So in supervised learning models and unsupervised learning models, which kind of model will fit for what kind of data, whether it is an industry oriented production or quality control aspect data, which kind of model we can predict for that, so that a product will be easily, after its test has been completed, depending on the test results, we can easily apply these concepts so that its pass, fail aspects, result of that outcome can be easily defined. At the same time, if it is a hospital or clinical oriented related data, we can easily classify various patients or symptoms with respect to different aspects. Where similarly we can use for pharmacovigilance related data and clinical trials related data also. These ML applications very much essential. And as I told previously also, at the same time we should aware about ethical usage of AI. So where it can't provide biased results, biased outcomes. So where we can easily check for its bias and aspects of its fairness, how actually it is giving, what actually it should provide, and what kind of result it is actually predicting. So these kind of aspects we are going to deal with ethical aspects. So here also we had provided some books and recommended resources here. Online resources also were given, and some books like machine learning using scikit-learn. It is one of the best tool under Python languages, where majority of the healthcare and pharmaceutical aspects can be, these kind of supervised and unsupervised learning can be done with scikit-learn. So this is the one of the best tool to learn about machine learning aspects. And then we can learn from the machine learning from pharmaceutical sciences, another book, and also introduction to statistical learning, where we can learn about the supervised and unsupervised learnings, especially like regression modeling. And simultaneously, there are several YouTube channels and sources are there in different languages. With respect to your language also, we can learn. Apart from that, Coursera offering a free course on machine learning specialization. And also by Google also providing a crash course about ML, the basics only, not advanced tools are not free, but basics of these crash courses about machine learning are free. And at the same time, Kaggle, I already mentioned in the previous slides also, Kaggle is a source where we can get multiple data sets and also learning courses where some of them are free, especially some certain tutorials related to machine learning. They are easy to understand, they are free to learn. These are only certain tools that has been mentioned here. Coming to this machine learning semester 3 program in detailed about each and every unit. Unit 1, it is introduction to machine learning, where we had already discussed previously the machine learning concepts. What is supervised learning? What are unsupervised learning? What is regression? What is regression in simple linear regression and multiple linear regression? What is classification? What is clustering? These kind of small aspects will be discussed along with statistical requirement for those calculations. So this in this unit 1, where I had already given Google MI, Google machine learning concepts. It is the one of the best source to learn about this introduction aspects. And when it comes to supervised learning, where classification of the data as per the different interactions among data set what we are having, and at the same time prediction based analytics, where regression is going to come into play here also, where especially we are going to go for design experiments and designing certain prediction experiments, like certain prediction of dosage, etc. Those kind of pharmaceutical examples can be useful use cases, where you can scikit-learn related textbooks and YouTube sources can be useful for this unit. Whereas for unit 3, unsupervised learning, as we have already discussed, where clustering of the data. It is clustering in terms of different groups. The data can be easily clustered. For this also, scikit-learn will be very much essential and useful for this as an ML tool, where K-means is one of the best application-oriented programming Python programming. So for that also, we can use certain books like statistical learning and Kaggle also providing good amount of resources. From that also, we can learn about unsupervised learning. And coming to pharmaceutical applications like pharmacovigilance related data sets, clinical trial related and their optimizations, and patient related personalized medication related aspects. These kind of use cases we can demonstrate with respect to supervised and unsupervised learning. So for that also, there are several kinds of data sets available in Kaggle, and we can use those examples for this pharma applications related to unit 4. Whereas ethics and future of AI in pharmacy, where we can use WHO is providing good amount of guidelines, especially for following artificial intelligence for automations and these kind of applications. Ethics, WHO and FDA, they have provided good amount of ethical guidelines, especially for understanding about bias, fairness of these ML and AI models. So these kind of small conceptual understanding, not in detail, but small conceptual understanding is essential, and it is only required at this level for us. So with this, I had given brief introduction of all the 3 semesters, where Python programming, from there to data analytics, from there to machine learning concepts, which is in a progression manner, it has been provided. So here, I want to add one more thing, that even though all the 3 aspects have been given as per the curriculum by the PCA, but all these has been provided as theory subjects. Because if you can see BP 101 Python programming, or BP 201 data analytics, or BP 301 machine learning concepts, all has been given as theory concepts. There is no practical aspects has been involved. So instead, I suggest all the faculty who are listening this, instead few classes you can turn them into hands-on examples. Why? Because especially for Python programming, there are several Python operatable mobile applications also, mobile apps also available. Python IDE, if you can search in Google Play Store or somewhere, Python IDE we can get. If you can't get any application app also, directly using browsers also, in the mobile also, we can use several Python programming, small programming simultaneously we can practice. So where by hands-on practice, live coding demonstration, especially Jupyter Notebook also, it is also one of the best useful we can use in mobiles also, where students can easily understand. And at the same time, I suggest everybody that case-based, that means any concept with respect to pharmaceutical application, where it can be really useful, with even though it is a very small example. So we can discuss in a simple example, and that example also step by step, how can we do it. With this kind of pedagogical approach, definitely we can easily teach, and easily the student can understand, even though programming is not as a not dealt till now, but now also it can be easily understandable. We can apply those Python programming into data analytics and machine learning concepts. If required, we start collaborating with certain team-based projects and peer learnings. Those are very somebody maybe in our colleagues also, some are good at programming languages, some are good at other kind of languages. If each and everyone collaborate each and with this, definitely it will be useful. And there are discussion forums that are available throughout several Python oriented and these ML oriented online platforms, where we can interact with several other collaborators, so that we can easily learn and easily make the students to understand. So this is what one more aspect I want to add here. And this is an additional aspect what we want to provide all of you, because it is also having it has to be assessed as per the PCA requirements. All these aspects not only for learning, they have to be assessed. So as per the outcome based learning, you can assess basing on the small simple practical or whatever the small programming code, program whatever the with respect to Python code they will write, and with respect to certain small case studies, how a small simple classification will be done, or simple addition program or simple subtraction program also, that is sufficient. Depending on that, we can easily assess the progression of learning of the students, or else we can also use project based demonstrations also for interpreting the skills of students, especially rather than so by this kind of pedagogical approach and assessment strategy, students can apply their skills rather than memorizing aspects. So memorizing cannot provide any kind of application in future, because whatever the concepts they have been introduced, that means in simple also, if they can learn, one can easily apply into the real world pharmaceutical applications for getting good insights in short amount of time with respect to good applications. So for that only we are giving that. So rather than memorizing aspects, we will deliver the concepts in such a way and assess them in a such a way that students start applying these simple learnings, not an even though it is not advanced learning, but anybody interested, they can learn on their own also. Nowadays, so much amount of resources will be available. So this is one kind of advice what we are going to give, that is use some certain new kind of pedagogical and assessment strategies for this. And any faculty, if you are already aware of Python programming basics and machine learning concepts and data analytics and few statistical aspects, if it is good. Otherwise, I suggest anyone without any technological knowledge, even though we are not from a technological background, not a engineering background, but even then we can deal all these 3 semester subjects, that is Python programming, data analytics, and machine learning concepts. But for that we should have some preparation. That for that I am providing that in 1 month. Sometimes it may vary for depending on our learning curve. Everybody can't learn at the same pace, but especially within a month, we can learn the Python basics and syntax, basic Python programming, writing a small program on our own and using certain Python tools, IDE tools, especially if you can use online-python.com. Actually, I had already informed in the previous slides also. That is one of the best tool to learn about Python and practicing Python for free without any restrictions. And within that 1 or 2 months, we can easily master about foundation concepts, so that we can, without any fear factor, without any hesitations, we can easily deliver to the students. And when within another further that, if you can go to analytics, I had given so many resources during those analytical aspects. Certain books also I had provided, certain resources, and you can, there are enormous number of YouTube resources are available, which are freely available, and there are several tools, several courses available through Google, and Microsoft also providing free courses, Kaggle also providing free courses, and NPTEL also providing free courses. All these are free for basic levels, but not advanced, and even these basic level courses are sufficient to learn and deal with students for this subject. And then coming to next further another 1 or 2 months, we can learn ML concepts, especially what are supervised learning and what is unsupervised learning, what are regressions, what is classification, what is cluster, and their applications, what kind of models. Especially if you learn about scikit-learn, that is more than sufficient for basic levels. And there certain pharmaceutical applications, especially related to ADR aspects, or clinical trial aspects, or pharmacovigilance aspects, or industry related quality control aspects also we can make aware, so that we can easily deliver to the classes in an appropriate way, so that students also will start applying rather than memorizing these aspects. So with respect to, I had already given, if apart from that, we can go for collaborative learning with, we may have some engineering friends, they may have some skills, so they can also collaborate with us, and we can attend FDPs like this for those are providing for programming basics, etc. And we can attend workshops, FDPs, and we can learn from any kind of online sources. So one advice is start from today and practice daily and build gradually these concepts. If you are not aware, if you are already aware, build confidence so that we can easily deliver these courses to the students without any technological background. That is what we want to convey to each and every faculty, that it is not that difficult to do these aspects, but only thing we have to build a confidence among ourselves. For that, we can start learning today and we can start practicing in a simple way and only basic level, so that we can easily deliver to the students whenever the classes will begin. So for this, we are only focus on only conceptual knowledge and try to use those concepts, apply them on pharmaceutical applications rather than other applications, and then simultaneously we can start learning whenever we are dealing that. So learning is a continuous process. We can even learn with the students also. So here, what I want to add one more, generally majority of the faculties, they will concern on it, do I need to be a coding expert? So actually till now I had one with not focus on complete tool uses. We are not going to develop any softwares. We are not going to develop any web applications. Here we are going to focus on certain small basic programming language, statistical languages, and machine learning aspects, so that students will start using it for building certain small application uses. So that is a major aspect where there is not much needed to becoming as a coding expert. And must I teach deep statistics and algorithms? So we required basic descriptive statistics, basic regression oriented statistics, basic level of statistics, and not we have to build large amount of algorithms using majority of the statistics. We are not going to build any kind of AI tool. We are going to use applications to understand the data in an appropriate way, in a simple way, in a fast way, to present it and communicate to the pharma world in a better. And is this too technical pharmacy students? In my concern, it is not at all. So if you take pharmaceutical examples related to these aspects in respect to these basic knowledges, these are not that much technology requirement. So basic requirements are sufficient to go across with all these three basic courses or subjects that have been incorporated in new PC Pharmacy Council of Syllabus as per the National Educational Policy 2020 requirements. So my final thought is, our goal is not to become as AI developers or to make our pharmacists or pharma graduates to make as AI developers, but they should AI aware pharmacists. They should know the tools available that are there. They should understand, they can interpret the data, and they can apply that knowledge to the data sets, and they can get clear insights from the data sets, and then they can easily apply to any kind of data sets, and they can easily have the industry requirements, whatever that are there, industry requirements 4.0 or whatever it may be, the automation aspects. With this, I am going to conclude with a simple AI-related quote in medicine, that is, in healthcare, data does not just informative, it transforms lives. So with this basic details of orientation about semester 1 to semester 3, all the three subjects that are incorporated in the PCA syllabus as per NEP 2020, BP 101T, 202T, and 301T. It is a basic orientation that each and every faculty, they will start learning the basic concepts, and they will easily deliver these concepts without any fear factor, and they can confidently deliver, even though some of you may not have the technology advancement till now. With this, I am handing this session to the host. If there are any questions are there, or any feedback, you can provide your feedback and suggestions. They are welcome. Any questions, we are there to answer. Otherwise, we have provided us here our contact information. You can always contact us regarding any suggestions for improvement in future webinars or any kind of clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai Kumar sir, for your wonderful lecture on impact of data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence in pharma filling. So I will now welcome Ramaya sir to continue the session. Participants, if you have any questions, you can post in the YouTube comment section. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Myself, I am Ramayappa, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Analysis. As a part of new PCA syllabus, in 7th semester, they included the role of AI in food waste management. So now, let me discuss the topics which are included in AI, role of AI in food management. So, in this section, we will cover the basic introduction of the course and course outcome, syllabus structure and unit plan, scope and career opportunities, rational and vision, student innovation chance, and AI tools which can be used, and what are the possible references we can refer for this course. So this is the syllabus. It is a elective subject which is included in 7th semester of a newly introduced PCA syllabus. The subject code BP708T, it is an elective subject which has the credits of 1 and maximum marks 50 marks, and lecture per week is 1. So these are the course outcomes actually. These course outcomes are what these course outcomes they are explaining. So the first course outcome is the basics and the sources of food waste. A student must know what are the sources and the types of food waste occurring, and how to apply different types of technological tools or technology to minimize or reduce the food wastage. And in case of course outcome 3, how to make or how to convert this wastage into a useful products like biofuel or biopolymers or some other value added products. In course outcome 4, majorly they focus on that is the bioactive compounds which are generally obtained from the food wastage. We all know that our fruits or vegetables, they contains many phytoconstituents. That phytoconstituents how we can reutilize from the waste of food. And the last one is how to overcome this wastage by applying the emerging technology like artificial intelligence and Internet of Things by using mobile apps or some other tools, how we can minimize or how we can reduce the wastage of this food wastage. So next one is how to map these course outcomes with the POs, programming outcomes. Majorly here, PO1 and PO2 and PO3 and PO4, they are majorly they mapped with the all the course outcomes. And in case of a program and outcome, the mostly PO1 is majorly mapped with the all course outcomes. So this is the mapping system of course outcomes with the POs and PEOs. Now this is the justification summary, how we mapped these POs with the COs. So CO1, identify the food wastage types and impacts and regulations. This is strongly mapped with the PO1, that is the knowledge, and PO9, that is the social impact, and PO10, that is the sustainability, and PO1, that is moderately to PO2. So likewise, various how we map, according to my knowledge, how I mapped all the COs with the POs, I justified here. The next one is, this is the syllabus they mentioned in newly introduced PCA syllabus, that is in 7th semester. The first unit is introduction to food wastage. That is a very basic fundamentals. And the next unit, how to reduce that food wastage, that is explained in module 2 or unit 2, and how to convert that wastage into a useful products, that is explained in unit 3, and in unit 4, that is a commercial products, but we can also use that byproducts, that wastage into a useful pharmaceutically or nutraceutically useful products. This unit 4 is majorly focused on pharmaceutical and nutraceutical aspects. And in case of unit 5, that intention of unit 5 is using emerging technology like AI, how we can minimize the wastage of food. So let me see why this syllabus is very interesting and very useful in terms of see, this is the scope. Learning this subject. After learning this subject, the student might get jobs in various fields. I have mentioned here the student might get the job in pharmaceutical field, nutraceutical industry, or biotechnological industry, environmental sector, cosmetic industry, and public health and sustainability. Likewise, in various fields, the student can get the job because it's very good subject they introduced in the new curriculum of newly introduced PCA syllabus as per NEP 2020. So now let me start the real section. So let me see this question. What if yesterday's food waste becomes a tomorrow's life-saving medicine powered by AI? Is it true or not? Yes, of course, we are all are wasting at any one point of time in our daily life. We are wasting our food, but that food is not wasted. If you want to make the food into a useful product, that wastage into a very useful product with the help of technology, it will be a life saving also. So that's why we have to use the technology. And that syllabus, the main intention of the syllabus, why they have incorporated this syllabus or this course into B.Pharm syllabus. The main intention is integrating the sustainability, waste valorization, or advanced technologies into pharmaceutical education, enabling students to develop a eco-friendly, cost-effective, and innovative healthcare solutions. This is the main intention. There is a very huge chance to develop various tools using technology. Day by day, the technology is increasing. And using this subject, connecting this subject with the technology, the student can develop some apps to reduce or minimize at least the wastage of food and convert that wastage into a useful products in various sectors. That is the main intention of this course. Now let me see. If you see the matrices or if you see the values here, nearly 1.5 billion tons of food is wasted every year globally, according to UNEP 2024. And after that, if you see 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions are caused by food wastage. We are only thinking that we are wasting the food, but this is not the thing. We are also wasting our natural resources also. This information is given by the FAO 2023 source. 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gases are emission from food wastage, and 24% of the old fresh water is used to produce food that is wasted. We are using the water to produce the food, and again we are wasting the food. So 24% of the water body wastage is very huge number. That is also given by the FAO 2023. And 1 trillion economical loss annually due to the food waste. In terms of economy, also we are wasting. What is a major challenge? Food wastage occur at every stage, from the production to consumption. In every stage, we are wasting the food, and that is also growing population and urbanization needs more demand and more wastage. We are demanding also more and wastage also more. Traditional waste management systems, we have the various management systems of food wastage, but that are somewhat inefficient and costly, not sustainable also. In real time, it is a very costly procedure. So that is due to lack of real-time data and transparency and predictive systems. These are somewhat traditional waste management methods are inefficient. So by applying this technology like AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning and Internet of Things, we can reduce, we can minimize all these core values. That is wasting water, wastage of water and wasting of economy and minimizing the global greenhouse emission. So this is the thing from the introduction part we have to learn. So here, what are the resources we are wasting? We are degrading the environmental degradation. We are loss of our natural resources, and we are economical loss also, and food insecurity. And due to wastage of this food, the persons, the humans get health issues also, because we are the waste products we are dumping outside, and due to that many diseases might occur. So next one, this is the first unit, the syllabus. In the syllabus, the first unit, they mentioned how to explain this first unit to a student for better understanding. Start with a small images, sharing some images, and from giving some basic definitions, how the food is wasted, and what are the types of food wastages generally occurring. Enabling, that is, see here the types of food wastages, the edible waste, inedible waste, avoidable waste, and unavoidable waste. These are the various types of food wastages generally occurring. And next one, the sources from where the food wastage is generally occurring. Commonly, we can see the households, or otherwise from food industries, or from agriculture, or from the markets, or restaurants, or hotels. These are the various sources from which we are getting the food waste, and why they are occurring, why they are sources, why the food waste is occurring. Overproduction, and due to poor storage conditions, maintaining poor storage conditions, or some transportation issues, or otherwise expiry date labeling confusion. These are the various possible causes for food wastage. So this is the major intention of this cause is understand why waste is happening. And next one is problems. Why we have to learn these problems, recognizing the core issues. We are wasting the resources. We are creating the food insecurity. We are wasting economy. And we are also overburdening land. So these are the various problems. And next one is impacts. We are directly or indirectly, we are impacting the environment, and we are impacting the economy, and we are also impacting the social also. And what are the advantages of reduction? If you see the reduction of food wastage, if you reduce the food wastage, it's a possible, or it is a positive manner. We can save the resources, we can reduce the pollution, we can save the cost, or we can promote sustainability, and we can also support food security. And what are the challenges actually we will get to maintain or to reduce the food wastage? It include the managing of food wastage include a high cost and low awareness, due to low awareness, it is also one of the challenge, because many people, they don't know. They are simply, we are thinking that we are throwing the food into a dustbin, but they don't know what is the impact of that wastage. So we have to create some awareness also, and we have to implement some implementations, like some policies and some things. This will reduce the food wastage. And what are the solutions and future directions to give a student or learner from this unit, from this syllabus? And also we have to look at the regulations for food wastage management. Various regulatory bodies also regulating the food wastage. So what is the major intention of learning this regulation of food wastage management? Understanding the national laws and responsibilities, and also we have to learn, the student also have to learn the international regulations of food wastage. By that, he can know that global standards and the commitments of food wastage. And one more thing, how to explain to the students this unit in easy manner by real life examples, how the food is wasted in hostel, how we are wasting the food in the home, how we are wasting the food in the restaurants. We have to take, or we have to look on some real time food wastage things. Then we have to show the visuals and short videos. Then student can easily understand. Ask questions and take discussions, and use some activities like case studies or group tasks, and summarizing it. So then if in the form of any classroom activity, the student can better understand what are the types of food wastages, how the food is wasted, what are the sources and causes and problems and impacts. Everything the student can learn easily by any activity which can be performed by group or individual activities. Then student can easily understand this unit, rather than explaining in PPT. If it is any activity based learning, the student, it is easy also. Activity based learning, the student can easily understand, and that what are the possible outcomes for the student. Student will be able to understand the concept of food waste in depth and analyze real world challenges and solutions effectively. Even if you explain in board or in PPT, they might not understand much, but in any activity based learning, the student can remember for a longer period of time. Then it is useful. That is the flow summary: understanding of basics, identifying the problems, analyzing the impact. So these are the various Bloom's taxonomy, various levels of Bloom's taxonomy we can mapping the Bloom's taxonomy of this unit also. The basic core understanding is from understanding to action. Together we can reduce food waste and build a sustainable future. This is the unit, the first unit. Core intention of this first unit is together we can reduce food waste and build a sustainable future. This is for all, for all of us, we have to do. This is not for any one person, this is for all. So that is the major intention of this first unit. That this is the next unit. This is the next unit. The principles of food wastage management. In this unit, the student can learn how to reduce or how to minimize at least the wastage of food, and how to prevent them, how to use resources effectively, how to protect the environment, how to increase the economy, and how to comply with the standards and value recovery. This is the principles of food waste management. That is the second unit. The main intention of the second unit is these are the various principles. So what are the outcomes for a student? He can understand the key principles, he can understand the appropriate technologies, he can analyze the process efficiency, he can apply the sustainable solution. So these are the various food waste management technology, thermochemical processes and biological process we can apply. We can apply green extraction or pyrolytic techniques or enzymatic techniques. So these are the various technologies we are applying in food waste management. So that is how to explain this unit to a student for better understanding. So I have given here various steps how to explain this second unit to the students for better understanding. So what are the technologies we are using here, and also learning outcomes by after studying this, after knowing the concept of waste management, of food waste management, the student can learn the sustainable principles and technologies we are using, or processes we are using for food waste management. And he can also know which technique is better suited for waste management. We have to use green extraction, or we have to use biological processes, or we have to use thermochemical processes, or some other processes. The student can know which best method for each waste type. And he can also apply knowledge to real world scenarios, how to apply these technology in the real time scenario. So here the thermochemical processes, we are using high temperature conversion for energy recovery, and we are using biological processes, uses microbes to produce compost and biogases, or we can use green extraction procedure, recovery of valuable compounds by using a solvent-free extraction, or pyrolytic techniques, converting waste into high value carbon products. Likewise, various processes or methods are there for food waste management. Then coming to unit 3, this unit 3 is majorly focusing on what are the byproducts we can get from the food waste after processing. What are the possible byproducts we can get, and how to use or how these byproducts are useful for us. See here, we can produce biohydrogen. The biohydrogen is in our daily life, we can use as a fuel or energy for fuel cells or industrial application. And one more product, that is biogas. For biogas, we are using for cooking fuel, electricity generation and heat production. Another byproducts from the food waste is organic acid. These organic acids we can use for pharmaceutically, we can use, or food and beverage industries also they are using. The organic acids like lactic acid or citric acid, we can get from the food waste by fermentation techniques, microbial fermentation, or we can also produce vermicompost from the food waste. We know that vermicompost is very good fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and improving the soil health, also promoting the plant growth. And we can also get a byproduct from the food waste is, that is biopolymers. These biopolymers, by using biopolymers, we can produce a plastic, biodegradable plastic, packaging material, and medicinal and agricultural products. So these are the very, very valuable products, byproducts we can get from food waste. We can make that waste into a useful product. So this is the how the major intention or major intention of this unit, why they have kept this unit into the syllabus is how to generate or how to produce a useful products from the food waste. The student can learn byproducts from the food waste. The student can learn different byproducts. The student can apply the knowledge to real world sustainability solutions. So this is the major core concept of this unit 3. We can the waste of today we can make resource tomorrow and we can sustainable for future. This is the concept to remember. The waste of today we can make that resource of tomorrow we can make it sustainable for future. This is the unit 3 intention. The next one is unit 4. The unit 4 is explaining how to get a bioactives. We all know that the plants or fruits are rich sources of bioactive compounds. We all are health professionals, one of the health professionals. We know that the plants and fruits, they contain rich of bioactives, and that bioactives we know we can how to use these bioactives for treating various diseases. We are also screening various bioactives in pharmacology in our courses, in B.Pharm course. So, but we are generally we are taking fruits or good fruits from the market or vegetables or some other plants from the outside. We are bringing out from outside and we are preparing or we are extracting bioactives from the plants. But here we can also get the bioactives from the food waste. See here, antimicrobial compounds we can get from the fruit peels like citrus fruits or vegetable wastage. We can get antimicrobial compounds from various sources of this from the fruits and all. So we know that antimicrobial compounds are inhibiting the growth of that is a harmful bacteria, and again these antimicrobial compounds which are obtained from the food wastage, we can also use these bioactives to preserve the food products. We can use food preservation also. These same bioactives we can use for food preservation also. And we can get antioxidants from the food waste. And these antioxidants we are using as a nutraceuticals to neutralize the free radicals or get rid from the various diseases. We can by antioxidant we can prevent the oxidative stress also. We are using in pharmacology in pharmaceutical the antioxidant having the very major role, and we can also the food actives the food bioactives also having the anti-inflammatory property. So likewise antibiotics and probiotics, nutraceutical supplements, cosmetics, biopolymers, all these products are bioactives are produced from the food waste. This is not the simple thing. We are just dumping or we are just wasting our food, but many applications in various fields we have turned transforming food waste to bioactive wealth for a healthier people and sustainable planet. We have to remember this point in this section, we have to remember this point. For a healthier people, we need the bioactives, and for sustainable planet, we need the bioactives. So how to explain to the students also I have kept here the flow of explanation. We can go through that. The next unit is the last unit. This is the main topic of today's webinar. AI usage in food waste to the medical value, because we are getting bioactives from the food waste. That bioactives are turned into a pharmaceutically valuable product for as a antioxidant or as an anti-inflammatory, as an antibiotic or some other useful pharmaceutical product. So that is the relation of food wastage to the pharmaceutical. Because we can produce the nutraceuticals, we can produce the pharmaceutical products, we can produce the biopolymer. In various fields, we can connect this food waste. So that's why the technology is very important in management of food waste. So when we combine sustainability with intelligence, waste becomes a source of life. That is our tagline. When you combine sustainability with intelligence, waste becomes a source of life. So that is the point we have to think here. So various from food waste to medicinal value, the AI-enabled journey. I have kept here the flowchart, collection and preparation of the various food wastage, and how to extract the bioactives from the waste. We can extract valuable compounds from the food waste, polyphenols, flavonoids or alkaloids, and we can use the AI-powered discovery. AI models predict the bioactivity and the target interactions and ADMT profiles, and validation and formulation, in vitro, in vivo validation and development of phytopharma formulations from the obtained bioactives. From the obtained bioactives, we are obtaining the bioactives from the food waste. That bioactives are converted into a formulation. That formulation is a nutraceutical formulation. That formulation may be a pharmaceutical formulation, or that bioactive may be converted into a cosmetic product. So that's why this is the flow of conversion of food waste. Is my voice is audible to everyone?
Yes, it's audible.
Yes. Thank you. We are going forward. So how artificial intelligence is useful in detecting, analyzing, and making that food wastage into a sustainable product by artificial intelligence. So here various definitions of artificial intelligence, like machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. The machines The machine is learning from the data. We need the data. From the huge data, the machine is learning. For example, if a person is driving for a 1 week in a selected road, the machine can learn from that data. The machine can learn where to stop, how to stop, because regularly it is monitoring. It is monitoring the activity of the human, where the person is stopping, when the person is stopping, how the person is stopping. The machine can learn from the data, and that data, from that data, it is predicting the possible outcomes. So like that, machine learning is useful. We will explain here how machine learning and Internet of Things is useful, and blockchain technology we are using in minimizing or managing of food wastage. So here I have mentioned here. So here in the real-time example, I have taken one example in the real-time example. That is a supermarket wants to reduce a food wastage. For example, in the supermarket, various fruits and vegetables they are selling. For example, I have taken a real-time example here. Example apples. So in what the IoT, Internet of Things, it is doing actually. It is collecting the data from the sensors. They are collecting the data. What is the temperature and humidity, and everything is collected by the IoT. So here apples are stored at 25 degrees. It is too warm and faster spoilage. This information is tracked by this information is collected by the Internet of Things. Internet of Things is nothing but, for example, in our daily life, we are using the smart watches. Smartwatch is a device. Inside the device, we have the sensor. The sensor sends how many steps we went. It is sensing the temperature. It is sensing the blood pressure, like that. Here also, this Internet of Things, it is a sensor, and it is sensing the temperature, humidity, and all the parameters where the fruits are placed. Then how the machine is learning that? Machine is analyzing the past data and predict when apples will spoil, because it has some data, and that data is learned by the machine. It will predict when apples will spoil, how much will be wasted. This is also machine is learning. Machine predicts 30% apples will spoil in 2 days. This is the advantage of machine learning in the food wastage. And if you apply the AI, because machine learning is a part of AI, now AI, what is the role of AI? AI is a decision maker. AI is taking action. It is suggesting a discount, for example, because it is going to spoil. The apples are going to spoil in next day or 2 days later. Then the seller can offer a discount, or otherwise send alert to the staff. So and so area, the fruits are going to spoil. We can replace that, or otherwise recommending the redistribution. So this is the AI is a decision maker in food wastage, and AI reduce the price by 20% to sell faster, because it is making the decision from the data or from the output of the machine learning ML, and it is giving some suggestion like 20% to sell faster means within 2 days the apple is going to spoil. Then that information, if you know, we can sell. Then like that, how blockchain technology is useful here. Blockchain technology is a storage. that information is stored in blockchain. The previous data or the previous experiences from the spoilage of vegetable or fruits, that data is stored. Where apples came from, where the apples are stored, storage conditions, which storage conditions we applied, at what temperature the fruits are, the apples are, the food products are stored, and what is expiry and handling data. The consumer can scan the QR and see the full journey. So that is the useful of blockchain technology. See here, all are interconnected. The IoT is sensing the various parameters where the food is stored, and machine is learning. Based on the parameters, the machine can learn, or the machine can predict the spoilage rate, and AI is producing the decision making, and from that decision, the seller can take any action. And that data is stored in blockchain, because it is also data is very important, because the machine is learning from the past data. So that's why in the blockchain, the data is stored. So all the information we can track from the blockchain, from farm to store. So here the final outcome is, I think the viewers understand the concept of applying that IoT to the blockchain technology, where we are applying this, why we are applying, what is the use of applying, application of applying this artificial intelligence. I think all the viewers are better understand by using this image. Less waste. By applying this AI technology, we can reduce the waste, we can get the profit, we can we can transparency, we can showing that to the customer, and sustainable system. So this is the major advantage of applying AI in food wastage. So I have already explained this slide. IoT collect the data, machine learning analyze it, AI make the decision, blockchain secure the system, or store the information. This is the Unit 5. They incorporated in the syllabus. In the Unit 5, they incorporated applying or application of AI technology in food waste management. The how we can manage the food wastage by applying the AI, we explained with a simple example in the real-time example, with the real-time example. I hope all the viewers might understand. So that the food waste becomes a pharmaceutical value. We already explained this in the previous section and the previous slides, because we are getting bioactives from the food waste, maybe a polyphenols or flavonoids or some essential oils or proteins or some other thing we are getting from the food waste. That food waste becomes a formulation. That formulation becomes a valuable product. Maybe a nutraceutical product, maybe a cosmetic product, or maybe any other therapeutical products. So because the biotics are having the various pharmacological activities, antioxidant or anti-inflammatory, cancer treatment, we can use the bioactives for cancer treatment, or various other various other screenings of various biological activities. Here are not only pharmaceutical, we are also using in cosmetics, a subpart of pharmaceutical, and we are also using bioactives as a nutraceutical. This is very important industries. See here, the food waste is not just a burden, it is a hidden resource for high value pharmaceutical products. So this is the Unit 5. the major intention of this unit. Then here, after learning, is there any possibility of any innovations from this course? Yes, of course, we have. The student can, there is a chance for innovations also here. Research based, or product based, or technology based, or social innovations. The student can extract any bioactives from the food waste, or he can perform any fermentation studies for producing a valuable product, or he can produce any bioplastics, or he can produce any compost, or he can produce a nutraceutical. This is the product based innovations. Or otherwise, the student can generate, or the student can innovate an app which can track the food wastage, or he can also, maybe the student can innovate any IoT technology or AI models. There is a huge chance of innovation in food waste management of this course. He can also awareness campaigns, he can also social innovation and collecting data from the conducting any case studies, general case studies, and waste management models for communities. Because waste management models also very useful for food wastage, reduction of food wastage. So various core areas the student can innovate. That see here I have the tools that encourage the innovation. Students can use basic lab equipment, open source AI tools like that. The very huge innovation chance is there in this course. How the faculty can trigger innovation? And we already discussed that things. By giving mini projects or conducting any hackathon or problem-based learning, the faculty can encourage the student for innovation in this course. So I have given a small example here, design a method to convert hostel food waste into a useful product. This is a simple example or a very simple mini project likewise we can give to the student. So here the students can produce smartphone apps for food waste management, food sharing and rescue apps, because generally maybe the wasted food can be shared to the needy people, or otherwise the home food tracking apps, meal planning apps, like that various apps are already available in the internet. There is a chance for the innovation in this area. So coming to the recommended textbooks for this course, we have actually in our newly introduced PCA syllabus, they have mentioned 3 books. So this is the table of content of each book. This is the fermented foods. In this textbook, these are the table of contents. We can go through that. The next one is table of content is another book is you can recommend because this book contains unit 1 and unit 3 is covered in this sustainable food waste management unit 1, 2 and 3 also we can cover from this textbook, because the sustainable food waste management and what are the byproducts utilization, phytochemicals from the food waste, So these are the unit 1, unit 2, majorly unit 2. We can get the information from this book. The next book is Sustainable Technology for Food Waste Management. This is the table of content. This book also very useful because what are the biological processes we are using for the treatment of food, methods of food waste and characterization. So various byproducts, how we can get the byproducts from the, how we can process the byproducts from the food waste. And one more thing, the unit 5, especially the unit 5 is, the unit 5 can be covered in this textbook. That is the food waste management through machine learning and IoT and blockchain. Today's FDP is majorly focused on this 12th chapter in this textbook, food waste management through machine learning, IoT and blockchain. The information we can get from this textbook. We can get the whole information of machine learning, IoT and blockchain technology from this textbook. You can refer this textbook. Thank you everyone for your great patience and giving this wonderful opportunity. I have to thank for our management and our principal also.
Thank you, Ramay Prasad, for your wonderful session on how to use AI for waste management. Thank you, one and all, for your active participation. We'll meet you soon tomorrow at sharp 7 a.m. Thank you once again. Thank you all.